Hello and welcome to BQ Piramal. Very good morning to all the viewers. I'm Dadia. An interesting day of trade is what we are seeing after hitting life high levels in terms of Sensex. We have seen some bit of profit booking that has started to creep in. Similarly, if you see in terms of Nifty as well, we hit a high of 18,875, just a couple of points away from record high levels, and that's where we again see profit booking. And now we are below the 18,850 mark. But a lot of movers and shakers in trade today, a lot of newsmakers that are in focus. Joining us on the show is Rajesh Agarwal, Head of Research at AUM Capital, joining in. Rajesh, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Ira. Thank you for calling.
Always a pleasure. Rajesh, my first question coming to you is, let's look at a Subros in trade today. A good run in the last 2 to 3 trading sessions, and this is on the back of the comments that we've heard from Honorable Minister Nitin Gadkari with regards to train cabins being all AC. What's your view and how would you look at a Subros? Is it a good opportunity in spite of the run-up that we've already seen?
See, yes, yesterday Mr. Gadkari announced that all the truck cabins would be made AC, and that would take at least 2-3 years time, if I'm not wrong. And it's too early to predict on the numbers going forward. Yes, the prospects look good, no doubt on that, because the only listed AC manufacturer which works on automobiles. But still, if you look at valuation, it's trading at a PE of 66, 67. Whereas other auto ancillary companies are trading in 10 to 15 range. So I think the valuations are overstretched after the run-up yesterday and some follow-up buying today. I think one should look at profit booking at these levels and maybe re-enter at lower levels.
Right. So that's overall with regards to Subros. Moving on, you have BlueDart, which is in focus as well. In fact, logistic companies have been on an up move in the month since the month of May itself, and now you have some upgrades that are coming in as well for a BlueDart. What's your view from a business perspective, and do you think good entry levels to buy, or if someone is holding, what would you recommend?
See, BlueDart is a very huge logistic player, I would say, good brand. They are in one way market leader in the logistics space. But one should not forget that Q4 numbers are pretty bad. PAT came at 49% down because of higher operating costs. Margins were also down. They're looking at expanding their aviation fleet. So I think after the run-up today, we have seen because of some various reasons, maybe one should wait for some profit booking to emerge before going long. Long-term prospects, yes, it looks good. 2 years down the line, it may give good returns. But immediately, I don't think anything happening on that.
Right. So that's with regards to BlueDart. Moving on, you have HDFC AMC, which has been in focus. In fact, after Aberdeen going and selling stake, we did see a strong rally that did come in terms of the counters. A lot of marquee names that have entered the stock. What's your view?
Long term looks very good. It's one of the largest AMC, a whole lot of equity portfolio with them. The numbers were okay type for Q4. PAT was around 9% up. Yesterday, after 11% up, today also some follow-up buying. I think, again, I would say wait for some correction, but for long term, it's a very good buy.
Right. Rajesh, Cyient has been in focus, and this is on the back of the notification that has come that Cyient DLM IPO, which will open on the 27th of June. The price band is yet not announced. And as we know, Cyient DLM is a subsidiary of Cyient, which is into integrated electronic manufacturing services and solutions provider. And it is also involved in designing, manufacturing, testing, and providing certification support. How are you looking at a Cyient on the back of the IPO?
See, we are very bullish on Cyient. The company, in its management call this quarter, they said they were expecting higher growth. They have robust order book, and they are going to have large deal wins, which we believe that there will be double-digit growth across verticals. And the cherry on the entire story is like the IPO coming. I think one should go long on this stock. Forget about 2-3 days movement, but keep the time horizon of 9 to 12 months. And maybe a 15% kind of return from the current market price is quite possible.
Right. Moving on, BEL has been in focus as well in today's session, and this is on the back of the 5,900 crore order win that it had. In fact, brokerages are also positive from a strategy and execution perspective and feel that, I mean, this any which ways is almost around 30% of the overall order book guidance that the management has given for FY24. How are you looking at a BEL?
We are very bullish on this. Defense has been the flavor of the market for last 2-3 quarters. I would say we have seen stocks moving up by 200, 300 odd percent, while BEL being such an old company and with such large order book and such good profile, has not participated in the rally as yet. Valuation wise, also it's very comfortable. The order book gives very much comfort. So I think one can go long on this.
Right. So that's with regards to where BEL goes. Moving on, let's look at another stock from the aviation space, which is SpiceJet. Now, aviation has been in the limelight over the last 2 to 3 trading sessions on the back of the orders that companies like Indigo and Air India have shelled out on, at the Paris aviation show. SpiceJet is in focus because they've signed a settlement pact with Nordic Aviation for all the past liabilities, and this is for the Q400s that were leased by NAC to SpiceJet. How will you look at a SpiceJet? Because clearly there was troubles, it was absolute turbulent ride for SpiceJet. Does this change anything for the company, and how are you seeing the prospects?
See, first let's talk about aviation. It has been on a peak from quite some time, right? Revenge travel across the world is taking place. Airports are crowded. There are long queues at check-in. And the best part is crude at $72, better cash accruals, sky-high fares. And the most important story now is Go Air filing for bankruptcy, and Go Air had a market share of 6.9%, and that's going to split into some of the existing players. But as far as SpiceJet is concerned, I think the problems are still there. So I won't go for SpiceJet as a buy. In the aviation sector, maybe Indigo in a downtake would be a better bet.
So Indigo becomes a better bet from the aviation space, as Rajesh is mentioning. Rajesh, another stock that I'm seeing buzzing in trade is a Saregama. Clearly, the clear bets with regards to Saregama was as to how the licensing deals would pan out in the future. How are you looking at a Saregama, and do you think it's a good investment opportunity?
See, the Saregama has given phenomenal return in the last 2-3 years, and I think still there is scope left because of the huge content library they have. They are moving into OTT. They are producing films. The Caravan division is doing well. I think if somebody has a time horizon of 2 years, one can still go long.
Right, one can go long with regards to where Saregama goes. Moving on, Aether Industries, that stock is up almost 9 to 10% in trade today. In fact, it's hitting new highs as well. What, according to you, is pulling the stock higher, and what would you advise investors to do?
See, there were 2-3 news in Aether in the recent past. One, the tie-up with Saudi Aramco, then other one was QIP of 750 crores. These two news have been pulling the stock, I think. Otherwise, also the company is on to strong footing and specialty chemicals and all, catering to pharma, agrochemicals, and these industry. I think long term looks good, but at this point of time, valuations are little stretched. I would suggest wait for some correction, buy for a time horizon of maybe 12 to 18 months after a correction of maybe 7-8% from the current market price.
Right. So that's with regards to where, the other stocks go. Very lastly, let's actually look at Piramal Enterprises and Shriram as well. In terms of both of these counters, a good rally that has come in. And in fact, it was that after TPG, Piramal was looking to sell 8.34% stake in Shriram Finance. We have seen multiple block deals that have happened in today's session as well. In fact, Shriram was buzzing in trade in yesterday's trading session as well. From a fundamental perspective, what's your view on both these counters?
See, as far as Shriram is concerned, Piramal has exited the entire 8.34% stake. And that's a big relief, I would say, for the counter, because there was an overhang every time something happened. There was an overhang that there will be a supply, and that's gone. If you look at valuation, 1.1 times price to book value of FY25, strong ROE, ROA, and the best part is NBFC sector as a whole is witnessing traction currently. So I think one can go along on Shriram Housing Finance. Even Piramal Enterprise, they can use the cash which is coming in for inorganic growth, or maybe they will be distributing to the shareholders. Even if you look at the valuation, the price to book value is then one. I think both of the counters are looking good on valuation parameters. One can go along.
Right. So these are few of the stocks we should be watching out for as well. In fact, it's an interesting day of trade wherein majority of the stock specific action is happening in the broader markets, and clearly a day of record highs is what we are witnessing as well. You already have the Sensex which hit a record high in intraday trading session today. Apart from that, if you see the Nifty mid cap index, the Nifty small cap 250, as well as the Nifty small cap 100, all of these have hit record levels. In fact, small cap 100 is at a 52-week high. So action coming in the broader markets as well. Thank you, Rajesh, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those views. But overall, I think this up move is something which is there in the markets, but clearly there is profit booking coming in at higher levels as we speak. But the underlying tone is absolutely positive as per what analysts are discussing so far. Thank you. Stay safe and speak to you soon again. Lots lined up on BQ Prime. Please stay tuned.